take this one thing to get you shredded. Drop 10 kilos instantly just by taking this one thing. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are all doing good. Now, you've probably heard, seen, read variations of what I just said from various different supplement companies and how they like to market what they're selling. And it always sounds too good to be true, and that's because it is. Nothing can get you the results like I just said. Nothing can get you to drop 10 kilos instantly. Harvard scientists have not found the new secret to rapid fat loss, and one little pill is not going to fix all your fat loss problems. But supplements can be useful when they're used correctly, and there's so much confusion around supplements, and they are so widely missold by both marketing companies and influencers. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm taking to help me get lean for my upcoming photo shoot, and also what you can avoid, the supplements that you don't need to be wasting your money on. So let's jump into it. So surprise, surprise, a lot of the time supplement companies lie, marketing lies, influencers lie, and it can be really, really hard to tell what the truth actually is when it comes to certain supplements, which ones are actually going to help you and which ones aren't going to do anything. And an easy way to try and spot this really is take someone that you follow on social media, someone who's in great shape, who you've admired for a while, who maybe is pushing different supplements or a certain brand of supplements, and ask yourself, were they pushing that certain brand or supplement a year ago? Chances are they probably were. Chances are they probably were putting out their discount code for that brand for you to go and buy that supplement. But were they still in great shape a year ago? I'd be willing to bet that they were. So you can say straight away that, okay, well, that supplement has not got them to where they are right now. They actually got in shape first and then started selling that supplement. Now, that's not to say that they didn't use some supplements to help them along the way, but it does mean that they didn't use that exact supplement to get that exact result, so you don't have to go and buy that supplement expecting to get the same thing for yourself. So you do need to be careful when it comes to what supplements you're going to get, who you're listening to, and where you are getting your information from. Now, on that topic, one of the best places I can recommend that you go if you have a particular supplement that you're considering taking is go to a website called examine.com, type in the supplement name, and then do a little bit of reading. It will give you all the most relevant and up-to-date research on that particular supplement, and it literally orders what that supplement is useful for, if there's any research backing it, and overall, if it actually makes any difference. So use examine.com from now on to research any supplement that you do have some questions around. Now, this isn't going to be like every other supplement video that you've seen where that bodybuilder that you follow sits in front of a table and pulls out 20 to 30 different supplements, expecting you to do the same and be spending £200-300 a month just on supplements. Nobody has the money for that. Even if you did, you wouldn't want to be spending multiple hundreds of pounds on supplements a month, and to be honest with you, you don't need to anyway. So I'm literally going to go through now the exact supplements that I'm using right now to help me get lean for my photo shoot. Supplement number one is protein powder. Pretty simple, pretty basic. This is super, super useful for getting more protein in. Now, it is not essential, but it is obviously going to be really useful if you are struggling to hit a higher protein number. We know that in order to build new muscle tissue or maintain muscle tissue when you're dieting, high protein is going to be essential. And not only that, it does help fill you up a little bit more than carbs and fats, reducing your hunger, making dieting a little bit easier. Now, when I'm dieting, I do tend to use this particular brand. I don't have any discount codes or anything like that, but they do tend to have some really good flavors. At the minute, I have a chocolate orange one and a chocotella one, I think it's called. So it's like a Nutella style alternative. Obviously, you don't need two different flavors. I do just like to have a bit of a variety so that I can choose between them and keep things a little bit more interesting. But these are super convenient. You can put them into a shake. Obviously, you can put them in with your oats on the morning. You can put them in with yogurt, whatever you really need to, so you can have it on the go, get more protein in, hit your protein target, and help improve your results when you're dieting. So number one is protein powder. Supplement number two is probably the most well-researched and backed supplement on the market, and that is creatine monohydrate. So creatine literally is really, really useful for helping improve your performance in the gym and improve your recovery between sets and between workouts. So creatine works by increasing the concentration of creatine, or it'll be used as phosphocreatine, inside your muscles that your body can quickly convert and use to produce energy. So creatine is going to be combined with ADP, adenosine diphosphate, inside the muscle tissue to to be then converted into ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which we call energy. So super, super useful for your body to make some fast, short burst energy and also help recover between workouts. Creatine also does increase water retention inside the muscle. So that old school myth of not taking creatine when you're dieting because it makes you hold water, whilst is technically true, it's not true in the way that you think. Creatine lives inside the muscle, so any water retention it causes is going to be inside the muscle, meaning that your muscles will have more water and look bigger. There is also the overall school myth with creatine that you need a loading phase of 20 grams a day for the first week that you take it, and then 5 grams a day after that. You don't need to do this. Creatine has a loading effect, okay? So it doesn't work straight away like caffeine does or something else like that. It only works after you've been taking it for a certain amount of time and it's built up a bit of a storage inside your muscles. So you can literally just go in with this at 5 grams a day from the start, and after a couple of weeks, you'd be in the same spot as if you were to take 20 grams a day for the first week. And if you do take 20 grams a day, most people will experience some sort of digestive stress or discomfort just because of the effect that it can have on your digestion. So you're probably better off just going straight in at 5 grams a day. You can take it whenever you want because, like I said, it's got a loading effect, not an acute effect, so it won't kick in straight away. So you could have it on the morning, you could have it whilst you train, you could have it after your workout. And over the first couple of weeks, it will start to take effect with your training. So creatine, definitely recommend that supplement for training. And supplement number 3, everybody's favorite, caffeine. Super, super common, super, super useful when it comes to your training. It can be in the form of coffee, it could be in the form of a can of Monster, it could be in the form of a pre-workout, but caffeine is going to be really, really beneficial for your training. So caffeine has been shown by multiple studies for multiple years now to actually help improve your alertness and your energy when you're training. So obviously when we're dieting and food's a little bit lower, energy is a little bit lower, this can be really, really useful to have 20 to 30 minutes before you go into the gym to give you a little bit of an extra kick for your workout. And it's also been shown to reduce your rate of perceived exertion. So basically, it helps you feel like things aren't being quite as taxing. You don't feel quite as fatigued when you're training. So it might help you get a couple of extra reps or sets out towards the end of the workout. Now, most people make the mistake with this, certainly with pre-workouts, where they'll drink it just before they get into the gym. But caffeine does take a while to get into your system. So you want to be taking this ideally, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes before you get to the gym so that it's got time to be digested, get into your system, and to start having an effect. Now, the way that caffeine works is that it is an adenosine inhibitor. So adenosine is the neurotransmitter produced in our brain that is responsible for telling us that we're starting to feel a little bit tired, we're starting to feel a little bit jaded. It's probably a good idea to try and get some sleep. Caffeine blocks that neurotransmitter from working, which is why after we take it and why on a morning, you suddenly start to feel a little bit more awake and a little bit less sleepy because your body's not able to use adenosine quite the same way. But you do have to be careful, okay? Because what you don't want to fall into the trap of doing with caffeine is taking it late on an evening and having it affect your sleep and your recovery. So what I like to say to people is make sure that whatever caffeine you have earlier on in the day, and have a caffeine cutoff of around 2 p.m. so that by the time you go to bed, the caffeine having a half-life of around 8 hours, it's not still in your system, it's not affecting your sleep quality, and it's not affecting your recovery. Because when we're dieting, our recovery is going to be compromised anyway. It's not going to be quite running as well as it should be. Our fatigue is going to be a little bit higher, so we don't want to be making that any worse. And we certainly don't want to get caught in that negative cycle of taking caffeine late on an evening to go to the gym, then not sleeping properly that night because caffeine's in your system, and then waking up the next morning even more tired and relying even more on caffeine the next day to get you through that next day and that next workout. And that cycle can get worse and worse. So whatever caffeine you have, make sure you have it in the morning. The average recommended range is around 3 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight of caffeine. You certainly wouldn't want any more than 9 milligrams per kilogram. There is no additional benefit above that dosing, and all you will get is worse side effects. So that's caffeine, super helpful to take for when you are training. So supplement number 4 that I'm currently using is zinc. Now, I don't use zinc all the time, and it doesn't really have any benefits when it comes to helping me get lean. So what zinc will do is naturally help regulate your testosterone levels. When we're in a calorie deficit, testosterone can start to drop after a while once you start to get quite lean. Although this isn't a magic supplement that's going to help maintain testosterone in a healthy range if you get super, super lean, if it can just give it a little bit of a nudge in the right direction, you're probably going to feel like you've got a bit more energy, you've got a bit more of a drive for training, and you're going to train a little bit harder. Not only that, zinc's really, really good for your teeth, for your hair and for your nail health. And if you look at your nails and you start to notice you're getting some white spots on your nails, it could be a sign that you are actually deficient in zinc, and it might be a good idea to start supplementing. Super useful at the minute, not something I will take all the time, but can have some indirect benefits to helping you when you are dieting. And supplement number 5, the second to last supplement that I'm currently taking, is essential amino acid. I'm going to say right off the bat, you do not need these. If your diet is diverse enough in protein sources from meat, from fish, even plant-based sources, you don't really need to be supplementing with essential amino acids. You need essential amino acids in your diet to help build new protein, build muscle tissue, maintain muscle tissue, because they are the amino acids that your body cannot naturally produce. So it does make sense that supplementing with them can help your body do that. But as long as you're having a diverse enough diet when it comes to your protein sources and you're eating enough protein in the first place, don't need this. So then you might be asking, why on earth am I taking it anyway? And to be honest with you, I literally am using it because it's just something to give my intra-workout drink a little bit of flavor. So I'll take this and creatine with some water whilst I'm training. So it just gives it a little bit of flavor. And also from a psychological standpoint, I feel a little bit more up for the workout when I know I've got some essential amino acids and my creatine in my water. That is pretty much it. I do recommend essential amino acid supplement if you are a plant-based eater. Now you can get a diet with complete proteins in from plant-based eating, but it is a little bit more difficult when you are strictly on a plant-based diet. So I do recommend for those people, eating a little bit more protein as your protein target day to day anyway, and B, supplementing with something like this just to cover all bases. But yeah, I am taking this at the minute. It's not essential. It's certainly not necessarily helping me get any leaner or looking any bigger. It's more just from a taste and a psychological point of view for when it comes to my workouts. And on that note, supplement number 5, the last one, is pre-workout. So I don't take this every workout, and you certainly do not need to take this. This will have no real benefit to helping you get lean, apart from the fact that it might help you train a little bit harder, potentially get a little bit of a better pump. But that's not going to help you get leaner. That's just going to make you feel a little bit more motivated, a little bit happier with how you're looking, and potentially indirectly help you push a little bit harder in your diet. I personally take a pump-based pre-workout. I don't take a caffeine-based pre-workout or a stimulant-based pre-workout because I don't like the dosage of caffeine that you typically get in them. I tend to get a bit of a crash after a stimulant-based pre-workout that I really don't enjoy. So I have a pump-based pre-workout, mainly just on upper body days, or if I feel like I need a little bit of a mental kick. And that's pretty much it. That's the only reason I take a pre-workout, is again to give me a mental boost, to make me feel a little bit more ready when I'm going into my session. It helps me put a bit more effort into my workouts. It helps me train a little bit harder. And it also helps me look a little bit better when I'm training, which again gives me a little bit of a mental boost for the rest of the diet to keep pushing on and to try and get leaner. And that is literally it. Those are all the supplements that I'm using at the minute to help me get lean. You might notice that there isn't a multivitamin in there, there isn't any magnesium in there, there's no vitamin C in there, there are no fish oils in there. I'm not saying that those things don't work. They certainly have their place and they can help with certain things, but right now, I don't really need those supplements. My diet's in a very good spot. My nutrition intake from a variety of fruit and vegetables is great. My sleep's in a really good place. My recovery's in a really good spot. So I don't necessarily feel like right now I need to be spending the additional money on those supplements. And that is literally it. You'll also notice the supplements that weren't in here were things like test boosters, things like fat burners, things like aspartic acid. Those do not help you at all. You do not need to use those supplements. There is no research backing their efficacy. There's no research backing that they actually help you build muscle or get leaner at all. All a fat burner is a stimulant. So it's basically a pill that's got a lot of caffeine in it. And that is it. You don't need to take them and you don't need to waste your money. Keep it simple. I am a huge advocate when it comes to supplements of keeping it as simple as I possibly can. Protein powder, creatine, caffeine. At the minute for me, a little bit of zinc and an optional essential amino acid in a pre-workout, which, like I said, you don't need if you don't want them. So guys, that is my current supplement stack. That is what I'm currently taking to help me get lean. I hope you found that video insightful. I hope you found it useful. If you want to see a little bit more about what I'm currently doing to get lean at the minute, then just click on this video here and you can go see all the food that I am currently eating to help me get lean. Besides that, guys, if you want to help me pay for my next tub of protein by supporting the channel, hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and with that being said, I will see you in the next video.